Hey guys, it's Destiny back with another video, and you're watching the Decimania channel on YouTube. And today is I believe the 29th installment of Wrestle World Wednesday. And I've been off for a couple days, I've been out of the loop a couple days, but I've just now been able to catch up on what's going on. Recently got married over the weekend. Check it out. Yep. And I'm just now getting back on schedule. Tomorrow we'll be back with TNA. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch Rebellion Saturday night, because I don't know if it's available on YouTube. I might have to watch it on demand the next day, but we'll see. This is Wrestle World Wednesday, episode 29, April 17th, 2024. I believe so, and we'll see what happens. Got a little bit to discuss, mainly stuff like on Raw and SmackDown, stuff like that. So, I guess we'll talk more about them airing the CM Punk footage in AEW. I'm going to touch on that a little bit because I don't want to talk too much about it. I've already given my thoughts on it. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and hit the like button while you're at it. Comment down below. And I'll see you guys tomorrow also for TNA. But right now, let's get into this episode. Okay, I guess we better get not the results out of the way first. Or no, let's get let's go ahead and do, let's see. Fine, we'll start with CM Punk stuff. They aired the footage, being Tony Khan and AEW. Aired the backstage footage from All In last year, in August, of CM Punk and Jack Perry and their little scuffle. There was no audio, so that kind of sucked. I didn't know what was going on. I had to go and look up reviews of it. It was just pathetic. I don't know why they did it. It didn't do anything for AEW. It didn't do anything for the company. It didn't do anything for CM Punk. CM Punk is not even there in AEW. He's in WWE now. He seems to be doing fine there. And I don't see why they should have done this. They could have done this months ago and showed the footage. If Tony wanted to, explain why he had fired CM Punk, he could have been like, look, this is why, and shown the footage then. But no, he has to wait. And I don't know what he was trying to prove with this. Because Punk, explained what happened on the AEW, or on the MMA hour. He said, look, I just choked him a little bit. Okay, he shoved him and then choked him. But, other than that, everything that CM Punk said in that interview was accurate. But I don't understand why they did this. It's just pathetic, and I don't get it. Hopefully they can bounce back with this. Looks like the Motor City Machine Guns are heading to AEW. The more that I think about it, I don't even know where the pay-per-view is this weekend. Dynasty pay-per-view. I'd say they'll probably show up at the end of that that tag team title match, or the Dynamite after. that's my take on the CM Punk footage airing. It just didn't do anything. It was pointless. Okay. Let's talk about Vince McMahon for a second. We are closer and closer to getting Vince McMahon completely out of WWE. You don't want to know why? Because he sold, he didn't sell it yet. He put it up for sale. He put the rest of his shareholding power up for sale. And you know how much he had left? 8% left. So once someone buys that, he's done. There's no coming back. What are you gonna do? Buy it back? Guys, he ain't buying it back. He's done. They would be idiots if they let him back in after everything that happened, or that came out in January. They'd be stupid to let him come back. I don't think he's coming back. Stephanie's back on the board. It's going to be The Rock. It's going to be Triple H, Stephanie, Nick Khan, Shawn Michaels. They've got it. And whoever else buys the rest of the stock. You know who I think it should be? This is just my opinion. Shane McMahon. Yeah. Give your son what's rightfully his. Yeah, he might not own all the company, but he can be there to help run the creative side of things, or whatever. Or the business side. With Nick Khan. That's what I would do. But, whatever. Whoever buys it. So that's good. Okay, Tasha Steelz apparently has asked for her release from TNA, and she has got it. I don't know. But yeah, it looks like Motor City Machine Guns will be going to AEW. They wrapped up one more taping where they will be taking on System for the tag team titles. Sorry, they're not going to win them. Let's see, AJ Styles has got new music. I think I talked about that last week, I don't remember. But I don't like it. I like Damian Priest's new music, though. Looks like he's going to be the one to face Cody Rhodes for the title. So that's going to be a good match. That's going to be a good, new, fresh match. The WWE draft is coming up, and I'll be doing a draft prediction video maybe Friday. Or not Friday, next week. I'll be doing a draft prediction video. So, stay tuned for that. That'll probably be on Monday or Tuesday. I don't know yet. But I'm going to predict the draft, and I'll do the same thing like I did last year, where I'll come up and review the draft. But Cody kind of hinted that he was going to SmackDown, and while we're talking about Cody Rhodes and stuff like that, let's just talk about what happened on Raw and SmackDown. We'll start with SmackDown. So, Cody was there, and he basically said, one of 6 challengers are going to be challenging me at Backlash for the title in France. And he mentioned AJ Styles, he mentioned LA Knight, and all the other guys. When he mentioned AJ, he said that this is a really interesting status. AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes are 2 of only 4 people to hold the NWA and WWE championships. It's Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, Buddy Rogers, and Ric Flair. Or is it Buddy Roberts? I don't remember exactly. One of them. But I posted on Facebook. I might have to go look it up again. But yeah, I think it's going to be AJ and Cody. And that's going to be a good match. Because that's a match that we've never seen before. That's going to be good. Let's see. Yeah, we have the triple threat matches, and it's going to be LA Knight and AJ Styles facing off this Friday on SmackDown. And I guarantee you it'll probably be AJ Styles. LA Knight would be good too, but I think AJ should have this. Because AJ may or may not be leaving WWE. He says he wants to have another title run. I hope Cody's not just a transitional champion. I want Cody to have another run. I want AJ to at least be there until, like, next year or something. Then again, I don't know what he's doing. He says he hurts every morning when he gets out of bed. So, I mean, that could be a sign that he could be gone soon. Just not a fan of his new music. If you wouldn't have told me, like, if you would have taken the voice off of it, you know, if you would have taken AJ's voice off of the intro, I wouldn't have known that was his new music. Unless you were, like, announcing that he was coming out or whatever. Let's see. The Bloodline and stuff was very interesting, and I think this is going to get interesting again. Ever since The Rock came back, and I'm glad he did. Because I don't hate The Rock. I don't. I like Stone Cold a little better. I always like Stone Cold a little better, but I like The Rock. Ever since Rock came back, this Bloodline story has just been interesting. So, sorry, stupid camera. So, Solo, Jimmy, and Paul Heyman went to the Bloodline locker room, which now had a Cody Rhodes American Nightmare logo on the door. And Cody took over their locker room, and I think it was Paul Heyman that said, you know, we need to get that championship back. We're winning and losing matters here, right? Maybe that was Solo. I don't remember. I didn't watch SmackDown. I was just stuff was going on. And Paul Heyman said, if we want back in there, we gotta win that championship back. And Solo, Jimmy and Paul went out to the ring later. And he said, winning and losing has consequences. Winning and losing matters here. And, I don't know, he goes to give Jimmy a hug or something. And he turns around. And Tama Tonga comes out in a hoodie. Takes out Jimmy. They both take out Jimmy Uso. And Paul Heyman goes to call Roman Reigns. He's like begging Solo, this isn't what the tribal chief wanted. And he goes to call Roman Reigns. Solo swipes the phone out of his hand. Smacks it out of his hand. It hits the floor and he just stomps on it. So it looks like Solo has taken over the Bloodline, it seems. So now if you get Jacob Fatu in this, maybe even Umaga's son, you can do a Bloodline Civil War type thing. You could have Roman and the Usos on one side, Jimmy, Jay, and Roman, and then you can have Solo, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu on one side. If you wanted to, you could throw Umaga's son. I can't remember his name, but you could also throw I don't know. But Bloodline stuff's gonna get interesting again, I feel like. And that's kind of all that happened on Raw or on SmackDown. Of, that I know that it's like noteworthy. But let's get over to Raw. Rhea Ripley has to vacate the Women's Championship. Or the World Women's Championship. So she's going to be out for a few months. Shoulder injury. It was a freak accident during the backstage brawl with Liv Morgan. And then The Miz and R-Truth, the Awesome Truth, were presented new World Tag Team titles. And they're changing the names of the belts. If you can't get them split, at least change the name of the belts. I still feel like we should have one team floating between each brand, but whatever. That's just me. I think the champions, you have to, take all the champions except for, I think Cody's already going to SmackDown. I think all the champions should stay where they are. Sheamus, I want to talk about Sheamus in a minute too. But yeah, they changed the tag team title belts. They kind of looked like Rhea and Damien's belts. Well, it's not Rhea's belt anymore, but whoever wins it, she's going to beat whoever it is back. We had another tease for the Uncle Howdy return. Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt's brother, and possibly Eric Rowan, which would be freaking awesome. I was hoping maybe they could do something with Cross and the Final Testament with those guys, but I don't know. But Sheamus is back. He came out and beat Ivar, and he's got his old music back. He's got his Written in My Face theme back, which he had been requesting for years and years and years. Hey, can I have my old theme back? And Vince just was like, nope. But he got it back, so that's good. Glad to see that. Let's see. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes had a moment. Cody kind of hinted that he's going to be going to SmackDown, and Jey is going to be the new face of Raw. Now I just need to get the U.S. title off of Logan Paul. Then again, maybe, I don't know, I think Judgment Day may be going to SmackDown. I don't know. Except for Damian Priest. They might, excommunicate him on the night of the draft or something. Chad Gable and Sami Zayn had an Intercontinental title match, which Sami won. I think it was Jay and somebody else. I think it was like Judgment Day or something. I don't remember what happened here. He came out and he went through the crowd and he saw Sami Zayn there, standing there kind of like reflecting back on growing up in this area because they were in Montreal for the show. And Sami and Chad had a good, 14, 15-minute match, and Sami won. He goes over and hugs his wife and his family, and Chad Gable attacks him from behind, suplexes him, beats the crap out of him. So it looks like Chad Gable has turned heel. Gunther, I don't know. We haven't seen Gunther since WrestleMania. I think he's got that visa issue still, doesn't he? Isn't that good for like another month? Or isn't that in effect for like another month or something? So he probably won't be in France for Backlash. Or maybe he might be. If they're wanting to bring back Brock Lesnar, I'm sorry I keep bringing this up. I'm not like defending Brock or anything. I just kind of wish this is resolved. But if they are bringing back Brock Lesnar like they could be, you could do Brock and Gunther at SummerSlam. Have Gunther just come back in an absolute rage and just destroy people week after week after week. And then the weeks leading up to SummerSlam, that's when you bring in Brock Lesnar. But then again, maybe you don't. Maybe you wait. Maybe he feuds with maybe he feuds with Sheamus for a while. Anyway, back to Chad Gable and Sami for a second. I like this heel turn from Chad. He kind of reminds me of Kurt Angle a little bit. I know it did a couple other people. They need to get Kurt involved in this somehow. Like, they really do. I miss Kurt. And also, wherever that Intercontinental title is going in the draft, so should Sheamus. Because Sheamus has one more belt to win, and it's the Intercontinental title. Universal title doesn't count. Sorry. It just sucks. And they dropped the name, by the way, too. They dropped the freaking name. They dropped the Universal Championship name. Thank God. I always hated that name. Ever since they came up with it in 2016, it's dead. No more Universal. That title is dead. And guess what else is dead? The term sports entertainment. So some of these words that Vince proclaimed to be dirty words, like wrestling and title shot and, belt and, hospital and just petty stuff like that is dead. You can clearly tell that they are in the Triple H and Stephanie McMahon era. Let me tell you something. Back in 2019 and 2020, I'd almost given up. I would watch the Ray and Dominic stuff in 2020, with Seth. And I watched the feuds with Jeff Hardy and Sheamus and stuff with Edge. But that's the only reason I would watch. I would watch clips on YouTube of what I wanted to watch. And it got to the point where I was just watching Solomonster's reviews because those were more entertaining than the shows themselves back then. But then, the Vince stuff happened, and, back in 2022, and here we are now. 2 years later, it feels like a completely different company almost. CM Punk's back. Cody Rhodes is the new WWE champion. I can't see it obviously, but I've heard positive feedback on the production ever since Kevin Dunn left. This is what ticks me off, and this has nothing to, actually this does have something to do with what I'm talking about, because we're talking about Kevin Dunn. Back when AJ Styles debuted in WWE, in the Royal Rumble in 2016, y'all remember this? Someone had to tell me this, because obviously I couldn't see it with my own eyes, being blind and everything. They focused on Roman Reigns. Instead of focusing on AJ Styles coming down to the ring and the crowd reaction, they focused in on Roman Reigns. And I'm like, what the frick? Like, this is when they were trying to still shove Roman Reigns down our throats. Now, he's going to be over organically instead of being shoved down our throats like he was in 2015, whenever that was. Now, it's going to be... Now the fans are going to want to cheer for Roman Reigns when he comes back. Because Roman Reigns, I feel like he is coming back as a babyface. Him, Seth, Gunther, and Rhea, they all just need to take a break for a while. Drew's going to win the title at Clash of the Castle. And I think CM Punk is going to come back and challenge him at SummerSlam. That's going to be your main event, I believe. If CM Punk's ready to go. I don't want him to come back unless he's 100%. And then he feels he's ready to do it. Might need to change your training style too, because he tore your tricep again. I think it was the other one this time. And Punk's going to be part of both of the nights of the draft. So we'll see what that happens. I would hope that Punk and Randy stay on their respective brands, because they just got back a couple months ago, but then they might not. But then again, they might put Punk on SmackDown. They might shake this entire draft up. You know who I hope gets drafted up from NXT? Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, Roxanne Perez, and Lexis King. That's who I hope get drafted up. I haven't watched too much NXT. I try to watch it when Pillman Jr.'s on there, or Lexis King, whatever. I kind of like the name change a little bit. It's kind of interesting because it's a tribute to his sisters. But I kind of like in storyline, it's kind of unique that he's kind of trying to get away from the Pillman name, even though he, I'm sure he loves watching his dad's stuff in real life, so y'all chill out. But it's kind of a cool dynamic where he's kind of, you know what, I'm not Brian Pillman Jr. anymore, I'm nobody Jr. From now on, my name is Lexis King. I liked that promo when he first debuted, when they were showing the vignettes of him watching WCW and stuff. And I kind of like that. And I'm hoping he finds his way up to the main roster in the next year or so. Maybe not draft him this year, although that would be kind of cool. But, if they could do it within a year or so, I think Pillman Jr. could be on the path to doing some stuff that his dad never did. Competing at WrestleMania, in the Royal Rumble, stuff like that. I'd like to see him and Cody have a couple matches. Dusty and Bryan Sr. had history. And so did Goldust. He had that match with Goldust with the where, Marlena was on the line, Goldust's real life wife, Terry Reynolds. And then they had the match where, Pillman had to wear the dress if he lost and stuff like that with Goldust. So there's history between the Pillman and Rhodes families. I mean, you could put that in there. Or I'd like to see maybe an alliance, or imagine you turn Dominic babyface against the heel Brian Pillman Jr. Oh, that would be freaking cool. But anyway, throw David Benoit in there. I know. His last name probably never happened, but you know what? Never say never. Triple H might actually be willing to give this kid a job. Frick, you don't even have to have him go as David Benoit. Have him go as, David Christopher. Isn't that his middle name? Isn't Christopher David's middle name? Frick, do that. Have him go as Christopher David. Or David Christopher. Don't even throw the Benoit in there. Have him maybe do some of his dad's moves. But, and do it enough to, where people know who he is. But, don't, completely bring him in as somebody new. And try to pass him off as, this brand new, guy. I don't know. But, wouldn't that be cool? But yeah, Chad Gable turned heel on Sami Zayn. Intercontinental title match was great. Sheamus is back. All that good stuff. It's fun. And we'll see what happens tonight on AEW. Oh, frick. I hope they can bounce back from this. And that's another thing. People are still saying, AEW's dead. No, it's not. Oh, yeah, Matt Hardy is also a free agent. Speaking of AEW. So I don't know if Jeff's also a free agent or if that's just Matt. I don't know. Jeff Hardy, for all I know, is still injured. He got hurt by Sammy Guevara, who is, I think, currently suspended. Frick, all of the 4 pillars are out right now. Okay, not Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. I keep forgetting that he's going by that now. Jack Perry's kind of there. MJF and Darby are out with injuries. Sammy is suspended. Yeah, Darby's gonna have to wait to climb Mount Everest. Sorry, dude. I miss MJF, though. Adam Cole's hurt, too. They need to get streaming on Max. I want to watch AEW more. I want to watch all the old stuff, and I want to watch the current stuff. So I can review this for you guys. Probably be on Thursday mornings, but I could do it. Maybe I could stream it on Max. I don't know how that works. But that's all the stuff that I have, really, for this episode. If there's any more, I'll mention it later if it's important enough. In, a breaking news video or something, or a standalone video. But, yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow with TNA. The Motor City Machine Guns last match, I believe, there. So, stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys enjoy AEW Dynamite tonight, and try not to let what happened with Punk and Jack Perry with that footage last week ruin it for you. AEW is still good. Tony's just got some learning to do. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.